Hey, it's so good to have you guys this morning. If you're visiting with us for the very first time, what we ask you to do is fill out one of the Connect cards that's in your chair. And when you fill that out, you can get done with it, place it in the back at the guest service table when you came in. Just place it in there. We're not going to come and knock on your door or anything. We just want to send you a little gift and say thank you for being here. But we're so excited about what God's going to do today. Our mission statement is love God, love people, live the word. And one of the things that we tell our church every single week is to focus on that loving God aspect. So that's what we're going to do this morning. Regardless of what you've may be dealing with throughout the week, with whatever circumstances have come your way, we can all find reasons to give God glory and love him today. And that's what we're going to do. That's how we have a successful Sunday each and every week, is we don't come here for ourselves. We come here simply to bring God glory with our lives. So that's what we are going to do. Just a few announcements that we have. Community groups are still going on. We've got about 6 weeks left in those before we'll take a break for the year. It's crazy that we're in the middle of September and approaching October and then November, and then everybody loves December because that's Christmas time. I know I certainly love it, so I can't wait for that. But we're coming close to the end of the year here, and that's crazy. But community groups are still going on. And men's ministry met last week. One of our very own, Dave Owen, showed us some pretty cool manly things. I know I had a blast with it, and I know our other men did too. We're meeting next month in October. I believe the first Saturday in October. It's going to be on the 7th. I believe it's the first Saturday. It might be the second. But October 7th, we're going to be meeting at Chris Cook's house. And Anna Cook, that's the violinist over here. And we're going to be making chloroplast boats and dropping them in the water. Chris and Anna have a beautiful spot on the water up in Valparaiso, and so we're going to be making these chloroplast boats and then racing them in the water. It's going to be a blast. So you men, if you are not signed up for men's ministry, you can do that at the back and you'll get an email about it, but we're really excited about that. We've got a short-term mission trip coming up to Houston, and what's crazy is now there's all this stuff going on in Florida too, and we're going to figure that out as well. But Stephen Montgomery, one of our community group leaders, has been planning a mission trip to Houston, and we're going to be having a meeting after church today. So all you people that signed up for that, you can meet up here at the front of the stage. Stephen's going to be walking us through. We've got some dates selected, or some potential dates selected on when we're going to be leaving. It looks like it's going to be a Monday through Friday, and so we're going to talk about that and get all the information to you after church today. So if you have been in that email group, just come up here to the front at these two nice speakers in the front here, and Stephen's going to walk us through about what the plans are for that. And other than that, one other thing, or two other things, actually three other things. September 30th, I know, September 30th, I've got all this stuff in my mind. September 30th is our Volunteer Appreciation Night. It's going to be here at the church. on Saturday, September 30th. If you are a volunteer, you can be a part of that. There's going to be a sign-up sheet for that in a little bit, probably starting next week, because it's only a couple weeks away or a few weeks away. So September 30th, Volunteer Appreciation Night. Put it down, because we're going to be celebrating all you awesome volunteers. And if you're thinking, well, I'm not a volunteer right now, well, this is the cool part, is you can sign up today to be a volunteer and then come to Volunteer Appreciation Night. That's how it works. We'll welcome you in immediately. So you'll want to sign up for that. And then next Sunday, we had this great guest speaker that was going to be here last Sunday. Of course, many of you know we had to cancel, and I know some of you showed up here and we messed up by not having any signs or anything, letting you know we're not going to be here. So if that was you, I apologize for that. That was our bad. But next week, next Sunday, Chris Loans from our home church in Middle Georgia will be here sharing his incredible story. He leads a ministry, an addiction ministry called One Way, helping people recover from addictions in their lives. He's going to be here sharing his testimony, his story. It's phenomenal. You do not want to miss it. We encourage you to invite friends, family, people who you think really need Jesus, invite them, because Chris Sloan's story is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to hear it. And then the last announcement is actually a really fun announcement that I get to announce. Is in the next 6 to 8 months, we've been a mobile church for about 3.5 years now. Y'all know that, and many of you help us set up and tear down, and it is tiring. I've been with you guys every step of the way and know how tiring it is. We're very aware that it's a grind, but in the next 6 to 8 months, we have a huge opportunity, a huge potential to be moving into a more permanent facility. The goal is we're going to hope to be in there by Easter. Now, I don't know if we'll meet that goal, but that is the hope. So y'all can go ahead and give God a hand. Y'all are excited about that. That is exciting. We can't wait. And the idea is, many of y'all know The Gathering, that we're great friends with them. In fact, Pastor Ryan at The Gathering Church has been nothing but gracious to us since we've been here. The Gathering's actually helped financially support this church some. This church has been nothing but good to us. They're in the process of buying another property, and it looks like we're going to be able to move right into their location. This is going to cost a little bit more money, just to let y'all know, which means we got to give. As you know, that we're all commanded to give sacrificially and respond to the grace that God has showed us. So we encourage you to really pray about. If you have not been giving recently, we encourage you to think about what God, or pray about what God would have you give towards this. The monthly cost is going to go up significantly. But one thing that we know is this is not our church. We did not build this church on us. We build it on God and God alone. And He's going to continue to supply all our needs. He has done this for 4 or 5 years since we've talked about this church from the beginning. God has always supplied our needs. There's a story that we always like to tell where we were literally in need of about $50,000 before we moved down here. It was coming down to the wire, and literally, I'll never forget the day when we got an email that a check for $50,000 was sent to Sunrise City Church for our church. So we have seen God move. We've seen God move mountains for this church to continue to go on, and we believe that this is the next step. So what does this look like? Is we are hoping to raise around $100,000. Now, I know that sounds daunting, right? It takes your breath away. The idea is we would love to raise the money that it would take to be in this building for 2 years and just have it on retainer no matter what. That's kind of the idea. And then there's some slight renovations we're going to want to do as well. So we're looking to raise around $100,000. Now, what nobody knows that I happen to know is that we've already had, just this morning, I received a text and someone has already pledged $10,000. So God is already on the move there. Yep. $10,000 has already been pledged to this, so we're down to 90. So God is going to provide every single one of our needs to move into this building. We ask you to gather your families together and to pray to God and ask, what part does He want you to play in it? Now, for the setup and tear down, we've got about 6 to 8 more months left in that. We want to have the best set up and tear down teams that we have ever had in this church's existence, and they need some work, because a lot of us are tired. So if you have never been a part of a setup or teardown team, we just ask for every other week commitments. Now, y'all know that a lot of our launch team who moved down here, they do it every single week. We're trying to take some pressure off them, so we just need a little bit more commitment in the setup and tear down area. So if you are interested in setting up and tearing down, you can sign up for that on your card and say, I am interested. It's just an every other week commitment that we look to, that we need. We meet here at 7:30, get set up, and then we tear down. The goal is always to be out of this school at 12:30, and we typically meet that deadline. We need people with trucks. trucks to help pull trailers. That's another need that we need. I know me and Buddy have been pulling those trailers for a long time, and we could use some more help with that. So there's all different areas that we can all be serving in, and we're just asking you to jump on in with us. We can kind of see the end here in sight of getting into this permanent location. This is going to be huge for our church and allow for huge growth. I know I'm excited, and I'm sure you guys are excited, and ultimately this is simply to see God's kingdom expand even more. So at that, I'm going to pray, and then you can stand up and meet someone you don't know. God, we thank you for how good you are to us. We thank you for your grace and mercy that you show us every single day. We thank you that we don't have to get this life perfectly, that it's just simply about allowing your Holy Spirit to use us imperfect people for your glory and your glory alone. And God, as we set our eyes on this next season that you are calling us to, I pray that you would speak to us, give us wisdom as we navigate how we're going to get into this property. It's going to be a lot more money. We thank you that you are the one that ultimately is in control of it all, and you're going to supply all our needs. And I pray that you would speak to all of us that make up Sunrise City Church and show us ways that we could contribute to this next venture that you are calling us to. And we thank you that we can look ahead knowing that you're going to move us in that property with it being your will, Father. And we thank you for that, and we love you. And it's in your name that we pray. Amen. Stand up, meet someone you do not know.